Alors voilà, Bjorn se présente à l'instant. Hey Bjorn, how are you, man?
Good, and you?
Good, good. Thanks for taking the time this afternoon. There's a first question for you, Nicolas Landry.
Merci, Pat. Good afternoon, Bjorn. Thanks for doing this. I hope you're well. It's good to see you. Listen, we've all been wondering during the past few weeks where you've been and if you're okay. I haven't seen you since training camp started. So just basically what answers can you provide for us today?
Answers. I mean, I've been in rehabilitation. I actually got COVID on December 20th last year. My whole family, my wife, my son, my dad, my two brothers, the whole Christmas time I was, with COVID. I couldn't move out of my bed for 3 or 4 days. I couldn't walk without the handlebar in my house. So yeah, it was tough. I'm back here happy because I'm rehabilitating and being reconditioned, and I'm being treated very well by the physical staff and all the trainers, and getting back to tip-top shape to be ready for the season.
Next question, Jeremy Filosa.
Hey Bjorn, thanks for taking the time. Is it fair to say that the virus affected you maybe a little bit worse than what, say, the average person? We know that it fluctuates depending on people. Is it fair to say that it affected you worse than maybe the average person?
I mean, yeah, I'm not the average Joe. Is that what you're trying to say? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I passed really bad. I had 4 to 5 days. 3 or 4 days I really couldn't get out of bed. 5th day I was like, getting out of bed finally, but like walking like really slow. I have like 15 stairs in my house. I couldn't even go up the stairs, like 4 or 5 without having to hold onto the rail. Like, I'm an athlete, so this is not normal for me. So it was really hard to deal with, I'm just happy I had the vaccine. I had I'm double vaxxed, and I still had this problem and I couldn't even move. So, I mean, just seeing my son who's 8 months old with COVID, he was really bad. I had to take him to the hospital 3 times in a week. Just thinking about that just makes me not feel good. So, my wife was sick, but she got fine. She was pretty much okay. She was just, tired, and I just went through way worse than them. Yeah. And then once I got here, obviously I was there in Spain. I was doing, in my house, I was just doing, I was trying to train like I was supposed to. And then all of a sudden I got COVID. Then I had to go to the hospital, do all these tests for the trainers here, heart tests, blood tests. I did, lung tests, x-rays. I did a lot of things while I was on vacation, basically. I had no time for vacation. Let's just say that. Other than that, yeah, when I got back here, I've been following the same protocols as NHL and NBA and MLS, and, getting reconditioned because I couldn't even lift a weight. I couldn't do anything. I was totally, no energy, no body strength, nothing. So I'm from ground zero back to, I'm probably 1/3 of my capacity when I first couple of weeks I was here. So now I'm coming back to what I should be, and I'm happy that I'm making the right steps. Thanks to the trainers, thanks to Alex. Every day has been hard, and it is what it is, and trying to get back. And I think that most people don't take life for granted. Going with not taking COVID for serious how it is, and then I didn't either. So I paid the price, and now I'm trying to rehabilitate myself to get back on the field.
Jean-François Théotonio.
Hi Bjorn. Well, first of all, glad to see you're doing okay now. It seems like you had it pretty rough in the last few weeks, so glad to see you're good now. I want to take you back to last year. You had a pretty tough year. Is that your assessment of your season last year? And also, what do you think? Well, I know you had COVID now, so your training camp is a bit you have to start from ground zero, as you said. So how do you see your season going this year, different from last year? Thank you.
Yeah, it's probably the worst year I had in my career, but in the end, it doesn't matter what happened last year. I'm more worried about myself. And, I think the best thing, not the best thing, but like what happened to me just now, like in the last month, I just got back from COVID. I haven't even been like actually feeling like a normal person since probably 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, for me, I'm just happy to be on this earth. You know, like, I don't know if everyone figures that out. We're all talking about soccer. I really could care less right now. I'm just trying to get back to where I was, and it is what it is. And hopefully that I'll be on the field as soon as possible. I want to play the Champions League games. Obviously, not that long ago, 18 months ago, I won the Champions League in Asia. So I want to win it in the CONCACAF. That's my goal, and that's what I'm here to do. Yeah, I had a bad year last year, and this year's a new year. You know, I don't see how it is. It's irrelevant to me last year. So, you know, that's what it is.
Jérémy Filosa, again.
Bjorn, when do you expect that you'll be able to get back onto the pitch? I know the team's leaving for Florida soon, so that may be more ideal for you. Do you see yourself getting back on the field once you guys get to Florida? And are you confident that you'll be able to get back into shape fast enough to start the year on time? Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on now. That's what I was saying, like, because I wasn't even thinking about his question, because it was last year, you know, last year was last year, but like now this year it's a new opportunity for me to show myself, and also like to, you know, come back with a bang. And obviously what happened, and being able to work out and put my body in the right place and be, you know, ready. Hopefully I'm ready for the start of the season for the Champions League games. I don't know if I will be. That's up for the trainers, and that's for the medical staff, and that's for the doctors. They've told I wasn't cleared to even train with the team 2 weeks ago. So I think I've just been cleared yesterday. I don't know. You know, these are questions for the medical team, not for me. I just know that the coaches want me to be back to training, to get back to normal life, to back what it used to be. And that's my goal. And if I'm ready, you know, to be available to play the Champions League games, that's what I want. That's my goal. If I can be there early, perfect. If I can't, you know, that's the way life is. And if I'm there for the start of the MLS season, that's where I need to set my goals for.
Adi Raphael.
Thanks, Pat. Hey, Bjorn. You talked about last year being the worst of your career. How was your relationship with Wilfried, and did you ask him what you needed to adjust in order to be that main striker, that starting striker in the formation?
I asked that question. I'll leave that conversation between us, but it wasn't anything that was helping me to be better as a player, to be better as a person. Yes, maybe, but you know, in the end, last year was tough for me, and expectations also, and you know, people outside speaking a lot or whatever. I don't really look at news or, you know, all this stuff, so could care less. But in the end, I didn't have a good year, and obviously that showed of me not playing. Maybe that's why I didn't play. I don't know. So we'll see. Hopefully I come back with a, you know, vengeance and show that I should be playing every game. That's what you guys brought me here to do, and that's what I want. So that's the goal. And then my goal is to play and to help my team make the playoffs and make a run in the Champions League. That's what I'm here for. You know, if I wasn't thinking about leaving or anything like that. You know, if that happened, it would have happened. But if I'm still here, it means that I'm here for a reason. So I'm focused on, you know, showing the real Bjorn Johnsen. That's what I want to do.
David Lake.
Hi, Bjorn. Having to go through all this in the past month and a half, does it give you a new outlook on life and soccer? Maybe I'm getting too philosophical here, but does it give you a different insight or the way that you look at things now?
Yeah, of course. You know, I think we all take for granted everything that we do every day. You know, going to work or going to see your family or being with family or being with your kids. Yeah, I took all that for granted, thinking that it was just normal and stressing about stuff like that. We just have to enjoy it, and I enjoy my work, and I make sure that I'll be the best I can and the best, you know, possible, you know, to be even try to be picked for the national team. You know, that's the goal for every player. And I think that, you know, you don't take for granted where you are and what age I have, and that I have the opportunity to still show that I'm good enough on the top level. So that's the goal. And you know, that's, I guess philosophically, yeah, that's helped. But in the end, you know, we think it just opens up your eyes to the reality that where you are and where you need to continue to strive to be.
Hello again.
Hey, Bjorn, you've been talking about taking things for granted and just being happy to be on this earth. I think that was your words. I don't want to sound overly dramatic, but just wondering, Like, did you fear for your life at any point? Was it that bad, or?
No, but I mean, it's, you know, you don't feel good. You don't feel like a normal. I'm an athlete. I can't get out of bed. Like, come on. Like for me, it wasn't fun. So it's not something to joke about. COVID's not a joke. So, you know, I have a platform to say it, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just telling everyone, who watches this interview, don't take it for granted. If you don't have it, if you haven't had it, make sure you don't get it, because it's, you know, if you have to take a vaccine, do it. If you have the opportunity to do it, do it. Don't second think about it because complications or whatever. You need to do these things to be able to be safe in your life and continue living on this earth. So I think that everyone needs to realize where we are right now. And I think that soccer takes a back seat in this kind of stuff in the end. So, you know, that's where I am right now. I mean, once I'm physically ready to play soccer again, then soccer will be the first seat, will be the first thing on my mind. So that's where I am.
Two more for you, Bjorn. Gavino De Falco.
Thank you, Pat. Hi, Bjorn. Bjorn, last year at the end of the season, we asked Olivier Renard about your season, and he told us basically he still believes in your capacity and your qualities. I mean, it must be a good confidence builder for the next season. Thank you.
Yeah, it really was. I appreciate him when he did an interview as well during the off season. I was in my bed, could barely move, and he's giving, you know, insight, and he knows my situation. He knew my situation at that moment, and he, you know, he still was positive. And I think that's what's pushing me now to be motivated to get back as strong as possible. You know, to be able to come back as a you know, a motivated human being is that's the most important thing when you're coming into a new season. So kudos to him, and thank you for pushing me and motivating me to be ready for this season.
And last one, Herb Zukowski.
Thanks, Pat. Hey, Bjorn, thank you for your time. I'm not sure what obviously life is like in Spain, where what the restrictions might have been, but do you have any idea how you might have caught this? And not to sound like a wise guy at all, but are you surprised to be back with this team at all?
My niece and nephew were staying with me during the vacation. My nephew actually got COVID from his class. That class all got sick. My niece and nephew also were staying at my house at that moment. We didn't find out until days after when he felt sick. So we actually had at-home tests. Those tests were positive. Then my son got positive, and my son was with COVID for 3 to 4 days. I took him to the hospital because it was very bad. I keep that disclosed. And then obviously after a couple of days, I got sick because I had been holding him throughout those days. I took him to the hospital with my wife. From there, my whole family got sick. My dad was on vacation coming from Atlanta. He flew from Atlanta with my 2 brothers to see me for vacation. I didn't even get to see him. He was staying in my basement for 7 to 8 days of his 9-day vacation to see me. So yeah, didn't even see my dad for Christmas. And from there, he flew back, and, you know, I had COVID throughout the time that he was there. And then when he left, I had still complications and I couldn't do much. So then I had to fly back to Montreal and do all these tests again, because I had already done them in a hospital in Spain. Yeah, Spain's just a mess. And obviously the whole world's a mess. So it's I mean, for example, in Spain, you can't find COVID tests at the moment. They're out, there are no more. They buy them from China, and China doesn't send anymore because they need them. So it's just a big mess in general. But anyway, I was a bit surprised because of coming back, because I wasn't sure about my future, whether I was wanted at the club, if I wasn't going to play, you know, if I'm not going to play, you know, I need to be somewhere I need to play. I want to play. You know, I don't have that much time left in my career. I want to play. So, you know, obviously I saw that I was on the roster spot being maybe up for grabs for Charlotte. You know, I'm from North Carolina, so obviously I wasn't going to say no. And then in that moment, when I'm back here, I realized that, you know, I have the best facilities. I have the best physical team. I have the best medical team. I have the best doctors. They are all the best in Canada. You know, they're some of the best people that I could work with, I could be with. So I'm just positive to be with them, and every day that we enjoy our company and we enjoy working together, everybody here. So that's motivating to come back and be a better player and show that that last year was just a fluke, and last year is not me. So I have the opportunity to show that. I thank that to the club, and, you know, hopefully I can pay them back from what they pay me.
Thank you, Bjorn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
You as well. Voilà pour Bjorn Johnsen. Wilfried Nancy sera ici bientôt. Merci. Alors, au tour maintenant de Wilfried Nancy de se joindre à nous. Levez la main, s'il vous plaît, si vous avez une question pour lui. Allô, Wilfried?
Bonjour, bonjour.
Ça va bien?
Ça va bien, merci.
On a une première question pour toi. En fait, c'est en anglais. In English, Herbzokowski.
Merci, Pat. Hello, Wilfried. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, and you?
Good, thank you. It's great to see you again. Can you put a time frame on Bjorn's return to the team, when he might be able to practice with the full team, when you think he might be ready for game action? And given the season that he had last year, did you at all go to bat with Olivier over him, to say that you wanted him back?
So about him to come back, this is a day-to-day, honestly. So he's getting better. So I'm happy with that. And because it was difficult for him. And so hopefully, I don't know, maybe in 1 week, 10 days, I don't know. Honestly, this is really a progression day-to-day. So we'll see that. And after that, about the fact that Bjorn is with us, is because we had a discussion about this. And for the moment, this is the situation. So if he stays here, I'm gonna try to. He's gonna try to find a way to make the team, and I'm gonna, as usually with my staff, help him like all the player to be to improve. And we'll see. For the moment, this is the situation, and we move on from there.
Jeff Morancy, en français.
Oui, bonjour Wilfried. Vous allez prendre très bientôt la direction de Orlando. Je voulais voir, il y a 3 joueurs U23 avec vous, Matteo, Gabriel et Jérémy. Est-ce qu'ils vont prendre part au voyage avec vous à Orlando ou ils retournent du côté de Marie-Victorin avec les U23?
Non, pas tous. Il y a Jérémy qui ne va pas venir avec nous, mais Gabriel et Matteo vont venir. Donc, Jérémy, on continuera quand on va revenir après à Montréal, et avec tous les autres jeunes, comme on a voulu le faire l'année dernière, en espérant que la situation du Covid s'améliore. Il y a des jeunes qui montent souvent avec moi pour s'entraîner, donc on fera partie.
Nicolas Landry.
Oui, bonjour Wilfried. hier, on nous disait que Mason avait rendez-vous avec le médecin pour avoir des détails sur une blessure qu'il avait subie. Alors, est-ce que tu peux nous donner faire un suivi là-dessus, nous donner des détails sur son état de santé et dans une perspective plus large avec ce qu'on sait maintenant sur Bjorn et je crois que Sunusi a été touché à l'entraînement ce matin aussi, il est sorti. Alors, est-ce que tu commences à être inquiété un peu par ce qui se passe à la position d'attaquant?
Non, non, Mason, malheureusement pour lui, il s'est fait mal. Je n'ai pas eu encore les détails. Je vais sûrement les avoir cet après-midi. Et donc, il s'est fait mal tout seul sur le côté en faisant une passe. Il faisait un entraînement individuel. On a regardé les images, c'est vraiment une passe. Donc, pour l'instant, on espère que ça ne va pas être trop long. Donc, pour l'instant, pas de nouvelles, mais après, au niveau des attaquants, non, il n'y a pas de souci, c'est rien de spécial. Ça vient s'entraîner sur le turf. Encore une fois, ce n'est pas une excuse, mais c'est un fait. Et j'ai déjà dit, quand on est à Montréal, on doit s'entraîner sur le turf parce que c'est la réalité. Mais le turf, c'est pas facile de s'entraîner sur le turf. Et effectivement, celui-ci, c'est un peu fait mal à la cheville, comme la scie. Mais ça devrait aller. Je ne suis pas trop inquiet par rapport à ça, d'après les dernières news d'il y a quelques minutes.
Jérémy Filosa.
Salut coach, merci de prendre le temps avec nous aujourd'hui. Vous avez 4 matchs préparatoires. C'est un peu particulier parce que le dernier match préparatoire arrive seulement quelques jours avant le match. Donc, normalement, on voudrait dans le dernier match peut-être, je ne sais pas, avoir la formation partante pour le premier match de l'année. Comment vous voyez les 4 matchs et est-ce que vous pouvez vous servir, par exemple, des 2 premiers matchs pour faire des expériences et ensuite de ça, y aller peut-être avec un 11 partant, le match qui serait la semaine avant la première rencontre au Santos Laguna? Comment vous voyez ça?
L'idée, c'est déjà dans un premier temps d'augmenter la charge de travail. Donc, c'est-à-dire qu'on va partir avec 45 minutes de temps pour tout le monde. Après, on va essayer de monter aux alentours de 60 minutes. Après, on va donner encore un peu plus de temps sur le troisième match et pour avoir un peu de fraîcheur sur le dernier. Donc ça, c'est la grande image, on va dire, par rapport à la charge physique. Et après, au niveau tactique, je suis encore en pleine réflexion parce que le match que l'on joue contre l'équipe USL, il est effectivement quelques jours avant le match du Mexique. Donc, du coup, je suis en train de voir est-ce que je vais mettre les partants, est-ce que je vais encore mixer l'équipe. Donc, tout va dépendre en fait du match par rapport à Philadelphie pour voir un peu qu'est-ce qu'il en est. Donc, pour l'instant, ce n'est pas encore bien coulé dans le béton. Je suis en train de regarder avec le staff c'est quoi la meilleure des options pour l'ajustement entre le temps de travail dont les joueurs ont besoin et en même temps après les ajustements tactiques ou les changements de personnel que je dois faire. Donc, je suis dans cette réflexion-là.
Gavino de Falco.
Merci beaucoup, Pat. Salut, Wilfried. On vient de parler justement à John Herdman concernant le match contre le Honduras. On sait qu'il y a 4 joueurs du CF Montréal qui vont prendre part à ce match-là. Miller, Piet, Johnston et, bon, il m'en manque un, là, et bien Kyoto. Est-ce que ça te préoccupe de voir que, justement, tes joueurs ne sont pas dans une forme, disons, comme à la fin de l'année, au mois de novembre, et qu'ils vont jouer à 150 000 à l'heure dans la prochaine semaine? Est-ce que ça t'inquiète? Est-ce que ça te préoccupe de voir tout ça, là?
Je ne vais pas dire que ça me préoccupe, mais c'est sûr qu'on a essayé on a préparé les joueurs du mieux possible, justement, pour essayer de matcher cette intensité-là. Mais encore une fois, c'est avec des facteurs limitants parce que l'intensité aussi, c'est tout ce qui vient avec, c'est-à-dire la pression, c'est l'environnement. Et le fait de jouer un match avec l'équipe nationale, ce n'est pas la même chose. Mais effectivement, je ne cache pas que ça me préoccupe quand même un peu. Mais je passe par-dessus parce que le championnat, la MLS, le calendrier, la façon dont il est fait, ça arrivera tout le temps. Et donc, c'est comme ça. Donc, du coup, nous, on a essayé d'anticiper. Et comment on a fait pour anticiper? Les joueurs ont été studieux. Ils se sont préparés, ils ont pris quelques semaines, ils ont pris moins de périodes de vacances que les joueurs qui ne sont pas internationaux pour justement essayer de rester en forme. Donc voilà. Maintenant, après, comme je dis souvent, s'il se blesse, il se blesse. Mais encore une fois, on va rester positif et qu'ils fassent des bons matchs internationaux et qu'ils reviennent avec un bon rythme et ça va nous faire du bien aussi à nous.
Nicolas Landry.
Merci, Pat. Wilfried, hier, James Pantemis nous disait qu'il avait pris la décision lui-même de dire non à la sélection nationale afin de se concentrer sur sa pré-saison avec le CF Montréal. pour améliorer ses chances, dans le fond, d'obtenir le poste de numéro 1 devant le filet. Je me demandais s'il t'avait consulté avant de prendre cette décision-là. Et puis, qu'est-ce que cette décision-là, de sa part, te dit sur son engagement et sa volonté d'aller chercher ce poste-là de numéro 1 cette saison pour le début de l'année?
Ouais, on en a parlé avec Romuald. Donc, du coup, ça a été discuté, ça a été échangé avec Romu. Donc, encore une fois, ce n'est pas la première fois qu'il le fait. Il a fait aussi l'année dernière. Donc, ça prouve tout simplement qu'il a envie de bien faire avec le club. Ce n'était pas une décision facile parce qu'encore une fois, il y a les qualifications pour la Coupe du Monde. Mais s'il a pris cette décision-là, c'est avec la réflexion pour lui qui pense que c'est la meilleure des choses pour justement avoir le plus de chances de jouer. Donc tant mieux, tant mieux. Moi, j'apprécie quand un joueur prend une décision forte comme ça et qu'il veut aider son club à être performant. Donc voilà, on verra après par la suite.
Je pense qu'il y a une dernière main levée, c'est celle de Dave Lévesque.
Oui, bonjour Wilfried. Et tu te sentiras à l'aise de répondre ce que tu veux, mais il y a des bruits voulant que les discussions aient repris entre le club et Rudy Camacho. Si Rudy devait revenir, est-ce que tu serais heureux de le voir revenir cette saison, même si tu devais composer sans lui jusqu'à maintenant?
Monsieur Dave, tu me connais.
Un gars CC.
Bien joué. Non, ce n'est pas des choses sur lesquelles je parle. Les rumeurs, je ne parle pas de ça. Donc, voilà.
Jean-François Théotonio.
Salut Wilfried, je pense que tu en as parlé un peu au début en anglais. On vient de parler à Bjorn Johnsen qui nous a fait un témoignage assez intense sur la COVID qu'il y a eu avec toute sa famille et tout ça en Espagne. Ouais. Dans quel état l'as-tu revu? Puis j'imagine que tu es content de le revoir, somme toute en santé dans ce camp d'entraînement. Merci beaucoup.
Ouais, quand j'ai appris ça durant les vacances, j'étais triste. J'étais triste pour lui parce que, encore une fois, c'est un super bon gars. Et donc, quand je l'ai revu, déjà, premièrement, on a tous été surpris parce que on voyait qu'il avait eu le Covid, mais pas de la même façon que moi. Donc, c'est pour ça que moi, je dis souvent que je touche du bois, j'ai été chanceux par rapport à ça. Mais content, j'ai pu discuter un peu avec lui, savoir un peu comment il se sentait, comment il allait sur le moment. Et effectivement, donc, ça prend un peu plus de temps que prévu. Encore une fois, je lui ai donné le temps nécessaire pour revenir. Il est bien suivi, il commence à retrouver des bonnes sensations. Donc voilà, on a hâte de le revoir sur le terrain parce qu'à la fin de la journée, c'est notre métier et sa famille est revenue en bonne santé aussi, donc c'est le plus important. Donc, qu'il continue à travailler sur le côté pour qu'il fasse le métier qu'il aime.
Je pense que c'était la dernière question. Merci, Will, puis bon séjour en Floride.
Merci, au revoir.
Merci, à bientôt. Voilà pour la disponibilité média aujourd'hui. On se tient au courant pour la suite des choses. On vous enverra l'horaire aussi de l'équipe en Floride et les prochaines disponibilités aussi du coach et des joueurs donc, au cours des prochains jours. Merci tout le monde d'avoir été là. Thank you, everyone.